What's been on the ground is the call for INEC Chairman to resign in the light of all that has happened, allegations of Twitter posting, pulling it down, and all of that. Civil society organizations, the opposition parties have been calling for his resignation. What do you think should happen?
Not only should the INEC chairman resign, he ought to have resigned before people started calling for his resignation. He's not worthy. He's a disgrace to the independence of INEC. He's a disgrace to the legal profession. But I am saying that in addition to the INEC chairman resigning, that the present Electoral Act, which has just been amended, must be further amended to make it a proper electoral law that should guide the 2027 election.
Why do you say so?
Oh, it's filled, rippled with landmines. And there is no reason why it should be accepted. Let me tell you, we have all come a long way. I was a member of the Action Congress. I was a member of the Action Congress of Nigeria, alongside the present president of Nigeria. And we went all over the country campaigning for a proper electoral process. Myself, Lai Mohammed, and some other leaders in our party, like Usman Bugaje, Temi Harriman, and Wale Ashu. We went round to every media house. At that time, we were campaigning for electronic voting. So imagine that the people who campaigned for electronic voting by 2007, 2011 have now arrived at 2026 and they can't even get electronic transfer of votes. So what we have all along has not been an independent electoral commission. What we have had have been electoral laws that have not been in the interest of the Nigerian people, the Nigerian voters, and the Nigerian masses. Every resistance must be put to ensure that the 2027 election is not conducted with the present electoral law that has just been amended. Because you saw all the areas, sections that Ibini, the former INEC commissioner, Mike Igini, has shown that are deliberate landmines put in the election to enable the government empowered to rig and manipulate that election. So the INEC chairman must be removed. He must resign before the 2027 election is conducted. A proper independent electoral body and the chairman must be put in place. And the Electoral Act, as amended, must be jettisoned for all the landmines that have been planted in it to be removed before the 2027 election can be conducted.
Some persons have argued that it is still the president that will still appoint a new INEC chairman. One, this man has to resign first. For the sake of argument, if he does not resign, what happens?
There should be resistance.
From who?
The masses, the opposition political parties. We have come around the circle. Do you know where we are? We are at the stage, the same stage that we were under Abacha. We were at the same stage when we were fighting for June 12 mandate. We are still at that point when we were fighting that Obasanjo should not go for third term. We are still at that point where we are saying that Chagoury and MPN must not rig the 1983 election, landslide, moonslide, and airslide like they did. I am happy that the ADC has gradually now been transformed or is transforming into becoming a proper opposition political party. But that's not sufficient. ADC must transform to a resistant movement because that is the stage we have found ourselves. And if anybody is not prepared to lead ADC as a resistant movement, the person should step aside. We have come to the stage where the leaders will be arrested, detained, and beaten up for resisting this government. But that is what will guarantee that we are going to have a free and fair election. I say this because I believe ADC will win this battle at the end of the day. But even ADC itself must give a guarantee that all these struggles we are waging for electoral reform, that if they find themselves in power, those are going to be the first things they will start correcting. Because we can't go through this circle over and over again, or else this country will go down the drains totally. Because the country has been on a downward slide for too long, and we cannot continue like this. So even ADC, in waging the struggle, in becoming a resistant movement, in transforming from an opposition political party to a resistant movement, must give the guarantee that the citizens' right to agitate for an independent INEC will be guaranteed if they find themselves in power. That the citizens' right to a free and fair election is one of the basic minimum of how we are going to start. Because there are also people who in ADC who were in a position to have amended the Electoral Act in the past, but who never took any steps. It does not mean that if ADC wins power, we will continue in the same old ways that we have been protesting against.
Talking about the Electoral Act, we can only amend the Electoral Act through the National Assembly. Right now, the National Assembly is 85%, 90% members of the ruling APC. If they do not concede to amending the Electoral Act, what do?
They must concede. The people must resist them.
How do we resist them? We saw the last time out that people were at the National Assembly, they were tear gassed, and that was the end of it.
What is wrong with people being tear gassed? They should resist beyond tear gas. They should resist beyond arrest. They should resist beyond detention. They should resist beyond going to prison. We must be ready to go to prison if we want to win our freedom. We must be ready to be detained if we want to win our freedom. We must be ready to put in handcuffs and chains. We must be ready to be driven into exile. Who among these people did not go into exile? Tinubu ran away into exile. Nuhu Ribadu, who is his national security advisor, ran away into exile. So who is saying that we shouldn't be prepared to go? We will go all over the world and campaign against Nigeria to ensure that the proper thing is done. We cannot continue to live in the comfort of our homes and think that the struggle can be won like that. No way. It's going to be about resistance. The same resistance that drove Babangida out of power. The same resistance that drove Ernest Shoneko out of power. The same resistance that stopped Obasanjo from running as president for a third term. It is only by way of resistance. Internally, externally, but we must not allow this to happen.
The Tinubu camp monitored the Ibadan Congress, and of course, seeing all the political gladiators gather under one umbrella and speaking the same voice. How afraid do you think the villa is now, and what are your reasons?
I do not think that the villa is afraid, and the villa has no reason to be afraid. But you see, what the villa is facing is like a man holds a mirror to your face, and you look into it and you don't like the way your face is on the mirror. Whether you get angry and cut off the hand will not change the face, the look of your face, or you get angry and smash the mirror, your face remains the same way. So I don't think they are afraid, but the opposition is holding up a mirror to their face and asking them to look into the mirror and confirm that they are satisfied with what they are seeing. Because each time I read our good friend Bayo Onanuga, I take myself back to 1998 when he was the editor of the news magazine. And he made a publication where he chided the fact that Gilbert Chagoury family was running Nigeria. And today, Bayo Onanuga is the one defending that every major contract in Nigeria today should be awarded to Gilbert Chagoury and his family without due process. It's unfortunate. It's sad.